All right, so
Yeah.
from the Wall Street Journal, New York Community Bank's problems look mostly, I can't read it because Haroon's fucking me once again. Okay.
That wasn't the article. That's why.
Scroll down here a little bit.
Can you go back to the other article for a second?
Yeah.
Just for a
This
second.
is a continuation of the last article.
Yes, I know. That's why I wanted you to go to it. You know, honestly, do you listen to the show?
You told him go to the next
Yeah,
article.
this is the next article.
This is the first article.
Continuation of the first
No,
article.
the first article was a different one. This is New York Community Bank's problems look mostly to be its own. The other one was titled the stock drop. You don't listen to me either.
Don't do this.
Fucking A, man.
No one listens
Do
to
this.
Chris.
Okay, go ahead. Por favor.
Here's the problem. Is you know what? You two drive.
Don't-
You guys got to drive separately from now on. Okay, that's the rules. Okay.
He doesn't like pontificating on what we talk about. After the
I don't
show.
know what's going on here, but y'all making me look real stupid right now.
All right.
All right. So from the New York, son of a bitch, I'm so fucking. From the Wall Street Journal, New York Community Bank's problems look mostly to be its own. Share price, as we referenced earlier, dropped off a cliff. There is a chart, which we will put right here if Haroon does his job later on, showing the KBW Regional Banking Index and New York Community Bank. And it shows you the drag down effect they actually had on the index because they themselves dropped down.
Right.
So if you could scroll up a little bit so I can get the rest of the text there at the bottom. A little more. Perfect. All right. So New York Community Bank was recently down more than 30%. We heard 38%. While the KBW NASDAQ Regional Banking Index dropped more than 3%. New York Community Bank is a large commercial real estate lender. Okay, so they downgraded two pieces of commercial real estate. They're a large commercial real estate lender. It absorbed some deposits and assets of failed Signature Bank last year. So the regulators allowed these people to buy a failed bank with even more commercial real estate assets.
Right. They felt that they were strong enough to be able to support this transaction.
And they hired former First Republic bankers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, man.
So again, much of what happened at the bank in the fourth quarter was specific to New York Community Bank. The company reported $185 million in net charge-offs in the fourth quarter. Right, that's actual losses, kids. So not only did they set aside those reserves for potential losses, over $500 million,
Right.
but they also wrote off $185 million in actual losses in the fourth quarter. Okay. So, and the two properties, co-op property and the office loan we talked about earlier. So there is a whole lot here that went wrong from an accounting perspective. And then today, the whammy.
The whammy.
The whammy. Right before we came in, literally a couple hours before this happens. And I know tomorrow is going to be, well, the technical term is a clusterfuck. Okay? So let's go back a little bit, shall we?
Let's do it.
In March of this year, Silicon Valley Bank was seized by the regulators. It caused a contagion period. It was based on largely behavioral economics and people trading on the stock because they said, hey, this bank has assets that are underwater. You should not hold your deposits there. And the entire market went wild. There was a whole banking deposit run. There was a Fed line that was set up. It was catastrophic. And it was almost entirely banks on the West Coast, obviously Signature Bank being an East Coast bank, a little different. That being said,
Right.
okay, we saw a very, very scary time.
Right.
People are very afraid that scary time is coming back. Arun, if you can go to the next article there.
And I think something that I want to make sure that we pinpoint, when we talk about these banks going through these scary times, a lot of people like to write it off as like, oh, big greedy bank could potentially go under. What's the big deal, right? There's a lot of jobs at stake. There's a lot of businesses that have business loans with these banks, right? We're walking into a time where credit guidelines are tightening up. Where are they going to go to if they've spent the last however many years building a relationship with these banks? And you can't just jump over to a new bank and be like, hey, guys, my last bank just went under. Can you guys help me out? Like, it doesn't work like that. So it affects more than just the bank. It affects the communities that they service.
Oh, yeah. And as a result, according to Reuters, New York Community Bancorp is now being sued by shareholders as stock sinks to 1997 level. So they've had all these bad things happen.
Yeah.
They're already having a bad week.
A bad week.
And then the next article, Arun, if you don't mind, Moody's, well, they came in and they just dropped the pee-pee right on someone's head.
I mean, look, it had to have been done, right?
Why
are they doing this?
I don't know.
Why are they doing this?
Because I don't fucking know. Look, so if you recall back in March, there were some very high-profile people from the venture capital, private equity sector, which said, hey, get your money out of there. Y Combinator, all those people who were out there saying, get your money out of it. And it caused a contagion run.
Yes.
But those are individuals, those are community. It was tight-knit into this fintech community, which is really kind of like, where Silicon Valley Bank was based. They were in that space. That was their market.
Okay.
We've all been worried about really commercial real estate since that time, and it's not really been a contagion period anymore, and stocks seem to have recovered for a while.
But we talked about it. We said that could be the catalyst this time.
It could be the catalyst. But then the Fed line came, and everything was okay, and then everybody said the banking system was strong and resilient until the last Fed meeting where that statement was removed with no explanation.
Right.
Well, today, Moody's, according to the Wall Street Journal, cuts New York Community Bank's rating to a junk rating, extending sharp declines in shares. The downgrade is the latest blow to the bank seeking to shore itself up after acquisitions, property losses. Haroon, while we're going off on what I'm going to go off on next, do me a favor and Google largest banks to fail ever. And I just want to give you some context when we're done with this here. Right. So this happens after the close of business today. The market closes at 1 o'clock on Pacific Coast time, right? Mm-hmm.